All right, so we are recording. As an introduction, we'd like to acknowledge that our mission at Vose Library is to advance learning, inspire curiosity, enrich lives, and promote community. With that in mind, let me introduce our guest. Bill Berlinghoff, a folk music entertainer for more than half a century, has performed in almost every state on the East Coast, from Maine to Virginia, and as far west as Colorado and Oregon. His full baritone, accompanied by guitar or banjo, covers a wide range of material, spanning traditional mountain music of Tennessee, popular folk songs of the 60s, topical songs of quiet coffee houses, rowdy sing-alongs, and nostalgic ballads of Irish pubs, and more than 24 original songs. His 340-song repertoire contains something for every age and taste. Bill has been equally at home singing in the exclusive Astaku Inn of Northeast Harbor, Maine, a busy restaurant in Alexandria, Virginia, a lively Irish pub in West Haven, Connecticut, and a country saloon in Granby, Colorado. Besides his restaurant and lounge appearances, he has done several hundred folk music shows for schools, children's camps, Rotary clubs, campgrounds, colleges, coffee houses, folk festivals, and libraries. His 1984 album, A Time for Getting Wiser, got regional and national airplay, and he has appeared on cable television in Connecticut and Maine. In 2017, he was an invited performer at the 3rd Annual Unamplifier Festival of Worldwide Roots Music in London, England. Without further ado, please help me welcome Bill Berlinghoff.
Come listen to the old song, ones you used to know. And maybe even new ones like the songs of long ago, when Dad or Mom or Grandma sang or played the tunes, the old songs sung by folks like you and me. That's an invitation. There's laughter in the old songs, sung to entertain. As stories, take away the blues and make us happy once again. There's sadness in the old song, some to let it go, as singing somehow lets the spirit free. In old songs sung by folks like you and me, there's history in old songs passed along the years, as stories come alive again each time a person hears. There's comfort in the old songs, familiar and secure, reminding us of times that used to be. In old songs sung by folks like you and me, there's wisdom in the old songs, waiting to be heard by anyone with wit and will to listen to the word, and power in them helping us to stand in unity against injustice, hate, and cruelty. So listen to the old song, ones you used to know, and maybe even new ones like the songs of long ago, when Dad or Mom or Grandma sang or played the tune, the old songs sung by folks like you and me, the old songs sung by folks like you and me. Real people here, besides those folks over there. It allows me to invite you to sing along if you are so inclined. What I do, the late Sandy Payton used to make a distinction between sit-down folk music and stand-up folk music. I do sit-down folk music. That means you all get to join in if and when you want, and that's fine with me. In fact, I'd like to invite you to sing along with this one. This is a Bob Zentz tune. Bob Zentz from Norfolk, Virginia. Wrote this some years ago, and I've always liked it, partly because with those of us who have gotten into senior citizen status, you can sing along without a long memory. It's a half line at a time, and you get to repeat it right away. So, and if you don't want to, that's okay too. But if you'd like to, it goes something like this. It's hold back the days. I'll just go through this once, and then you'll hear how it goes. Hold back the days in which I'm living, so far from home, so far from free. Hold back the ways we've all been given, and let a sweet song from yesterday wash over me. Now, think about it. You can repeat each half line with me except the end. It says, hold back the days, hold back the days in which I'm living, in which I'm living, so far from home, so far from home, so far from free, so far from free. Hold back the ways, hold back the ways we've all been given, and let a sweet song from yesterday wash over me. Yeah, you get that. We'll try some different words, but it works the same way. If we should meet, like ships a passing, some stormy night, out on the blue, we may not speak, but for the asking, I'd let a sweet song from yesterday wash over you. Hold back the day in which I'm living, so far from home, so far from free. Hold back the ways we've all been given, and let a sweet song from yesterday wash over me. When it seems your dreams ain't worth the dreaming, ain't worth the dreaming. When you can't find your way through, and when your schemes ain't worth the scheming, just let a sweet song from yesterday wash over you. Hold back the day, in which I'm living, so far from home, so far from free. Hold back the ways we've all been given, and let a sweet song from yesterday wash over me. Just let a sweet song from yesterday wash over me. Thank you. Usually I rely on having visual of mouths moving, but everybody's got a mask on, and I can't see that. But I could hear you some.
Bill, can I check in with our Zoomers?
Sure.
Hi, Zoomers. Can you just let me know if the volume's okay?
Yes, the volume is okay here.
Thank you, Anita.
This is a song for the people who'd rather not sing along. I picked this up out in St. Paul, Minnesota, some years ago. A couple named Bob Payton and Denise Dreyer, singers out there, wrote this song at the height of the sing-along craze. You know, some of you will remember the Mitch Miller and Father Bouncing Ball and all of that, you know. And they thought that the folks who really didn't want to do that deserved a song of their own. So they said, when I was a little kid, I sang out loud and free. Then I went to school and the teacher said to me, well, you know that you are tone deaf and you cannot sing on key, but I'll leave you in the choir if you sing quietly. And I said, oh no, I'm never gonna sing, not in the winter and not in the spring, not in the summer and not in the fall. I'm never gonna sing at all. Now I sing in the shower when water's nice and hot, when no one else is listening, I give it all I've got. But when I'm out in public, it puts me on the spot. When someone says, come on, join in, I say, I'd rather not. I'll say, oh no, I'm never gonna sing, not in winter and not in spring, not in summer and not in the fall. I'm never gonna sing at all. Once you told me your tone deaf, it lasts your whole life long. Even when you know the tune, you still are sure it's wrong. So here I say, listening to one of my favorite songs. The chorus is approaching, but will I sing along? I'll say, oh no, I'm never gonna sing. Not in the winter and not in the spring, not in the summer and not in the fall. I'm never gonna sing at all. I know that some of you might be the same as me. Maybe you can't sing in perfect harmony. We'll always sit and listen, we'll tap on your knee. But just so long as you have fun, it's all the same to me. And you say, oh no, I'm never gonna sing, not in the winter and not in the spring, not in the summer and not in the fall. I'm never gonna sing at all. We'll stay with this. It's not my style.
Let me playing a violin.
I'm gonna stand right, I'm gonna sit right here just and monitor that.
Oh well. It was a new and exciting experience for me. Working to a bunch of masked folks, and there's an eye in the sky over here that's recording every mistake I make, which is we won't talk about that. And that introduction had me puzzled as to how I was going to cover all those bases in a 1-hour show. I don't think I'm going to make it. But I could at least do one of the old-time mountain songs. I was down in southwestern Virginia last year doing a Habitat for Humanity build, and there was a place up in the mountains that had had 35 straight years of music every Friday night, and they were having their 35th anniversary, and I went down there and was listening to these folks, and this little woman, this little gray-haired woman with an auto harp came out, backed by 3 or 4 big guys playing guitars and whatever. And she sang this song, which I had known for years and years, called Keep on the Sunny Side. There's a dark and the troubled side of life. You can sing along. Here's a bright and sunny side as we meet with darkness that's right. The sunny side of the sunny. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. He'll help us every day, right on our way. If we keep on the sunny side of life. Now the storm and its fury broke today, crushing hopes with chariots so deep. Storm and cloud when time passed away, the sun again will shine bright as day. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It'll help us every day, right on our way. On the sunny side of life. So let us meet with a song of hope each day. Though the world be cloudy or fair, let us trust in our Savior already. He'll keep us everyone needs care. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. He'll help us every day, right on our way. Keep on the sunny side of life. Before we started, we were talking briefly about folk singers that folks might know. One of my very favorite, all-time favorite folk singers from up here in Maine is Gordon Bach. And I do Gordon Bach's music in Maine with some trepidation because I have always admired what he's done, and it's a little scary. But I thought I would do, because it's the right season, I thought I would do a song of his that, I think it's the first song of his that I ever learned and I have loved through all these years. Sometimes we need a little bit of hope in these music. When the deer has bedded down and the bear has gone to ground and the northern goose wandered off to warm earth, day and sound, it's so easy in the cold to feel the darkness of the year, and the heart is growing lonely for the morning. Oh, my Joni, don't you know that the stars are swinging slow and the seas are roaring easy as they did so long ago? If I had a thing to give, I would tell you one more time that the world is always turning for the morning. When the darkness falls around you and the north wind comes to blow, and you hear him call your name out as he walks the brittle snow, that old wind don't mean you trouble. He don't care or even know. He's just walking down the darkness toward the morning. Oh, my Joni, don't you know that the stars are swinging slow and the seas are rolling easy as they did so long ago? If I had a thing to give, I would tell you one more time that the world is always turning toward the morning. It's a pity we don't know what the little flowers know. They can't take the cold November, can't face the wind and snow. They put their glories all behind their, bow their heads and let it go. But you know they'll be there shining in the morning. Oh, my Joni, don't you know that the stars are swinging slow and the seas are rolling easy as they did so long ago. If I had a thing to give you, I would tell you one more time that the world is always turning toward the morning. A program like this wouldn't be complete without a Pete Seeger song. And so, sorry, it's that time. Pete Seeger, of course, plays a lot of banjo songs, but I think one of my very favorites is the one he doesn't play on the banjo. And this is another song of hope, if you will. Pete was probably the most optimistic person I have ever encountered. And I think he always had a sense of realism, but he always found a way to be optimistic. And this is a song of optimism. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shore, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race it's too soon to die. Some folks want to be like an ostrich, bury their heads in the sand. Some hope for plastic dreams to unclench all those greedy hands. Some wanna take the easy way, poison bombs they think we need. Don't you know you can't kill all the unbelievers? There's no shortcut to freedom. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping on our shore, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race it's too soon to die. Go tell all the little children, tell all the mothers and fathers too. Now's our last chance to learn to share what was given to me and you. One blue sky above, one ocean lapping all our shores, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race it's too soon to die. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shores, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? ago, I was living down in Connecticut. This is my memory over here, by the way. It tells me what the key is, what I thought I was going to do. And this is close enough, all right. As they say, close enough for folk music, you know. I was living down in Middletown, Connecticut, and looking out the picture window, right across the street from us, there was this gorgeous maple tree. And this time of year, it would turn all kinds of colors. And one day I was sitting there marveling at that and thinking at the same time about all the headlines I was seeing in the newspapers about the various ecological disasters. Now, here's my problem about this song. This was written 40 odd years ago, maybe 50 years ago, in what I thought then was the future imperfect tense for all you English majors. You know, and I had hoped by this time it wouldn't be current. But unfortunately, could have been written last week. We held the world in our hands, keepers for every other man. Why did we rush to destroy water and air, sea and land? Trees tall and green, clear mountain stream, air fresh and clean. Only a dream. Speed and convenience were nice, and only the air paid the price. An exhausting chimney and flue, and even atomic device. He is tall and green, clear mountain stream, air fresh and clean. Only a dream. Oil from the caverns below made the machinery go, and covered the beaches, it's true, with fishes alert dying slow. Walking through litter and trash, clutching our obsolete cash. We know we can never buy back the beauty that we turned to ash. Trees tall and green, clear mountain stream, air fresh and clean. Only a dream. It's time for a commercial. I did an album back in the 80s. My best album. My only album. It was back at a time when you did albums on LP. And I still have them. They're collector's items. Almost nobody has these. And they went through LP and then cassette and now CD. They are still for sale, available right here this very evening. Right here, the LPs are $10 if you are returning to that technology. The CDs are $15, and if you want a cassette, you can have it. It's free. Yeah. Please take one. That song is on it, by the way, and there are a few others of mine, a Gordon Bach song, a few others of various other people, so it's a kind of mixture. I'll do a couple more tonight that are on there, along with a bunch that aren't. This is a song by Jerry Rasmussen. Jerry Rasmussen is a singer from I guess he was originally from the Midwest, but transplanted to Connecticut, been there for many years. Very thoughtful songwriter, somebody that I know of a few of his songs, but maybe not as many as I should. This one seemed to strike a special chord, pardon the expression, with me. All that I have is my grandfather's hat and his old railroad watch with the casing all worn, and the Bible my grandmother bought her last Christmas that she gave to my mother. Now she's passed it on. Some folks leave money from a lifetime of savings, some just their name on marble sewn. It's not what you need, it's the joy of remembering. All I can leave you is a handful of song. Some may leave stories well tuned in the telling, some may leave jokes that can still make you laugh. Some may leave lessons hard in the learning, some just a smile in an old photograph. Some may leave money from a lifetime of savings, some just their name on a marble stone. It's not what you need, it's the joy of remembering. All I can leave you is a handful of song. How many days slip by without notice? How many good friends are lost on the way? How many good times are taken for granted, only remembered when they passed away? Some may leave money from a lifetime of savings, some just their name on a marble stone. It's not what you leave, it's the joy of remembering. All I can leave you is a handful of song. Since I have you as a captive audience and people are not leaving in groups yet, I would inflict upon you a few of my own along the way. So, not all of these, but some of these, most of the rest of these will be mine. This one is half mine. I've got to tell you the story about this one, maybe. Again, I was living in Connecticut, and my downstairs neighbor was a very interesting woman who, among other things, was a poet, besides being black belt karate and ex-military. And we were sitting around sharing a couple of drinks, and she brought out this poem she had written, and I listened to it, and I thought, that's really good. It's probably the most depressing poem I've heard in a very long time. and she was something of a musician too, and we thought the only way you would salvage this is to turn it into a country song. So we, thanks to several scotches, we came up with a melody which actually sounded pretty good the next day. So we kept it. And I am herewith inflicting it on you. There has to be a reason I am waiting for the morning. Can there be a dawn to justify this pain? I listen to the booming band, strange droning of the gate. The gypsy bands are searching for the rain. You can hear the rain, it's coming, the wind is hissing Birds announce it softly from their nests beneath the eaves. You can smell the rain, it's coming. Smell the pavement growing down. See the grass reach up to drink it. See the flicker of the land. Now the rain will drive the grasses flat, wash away the darkness. The rain will slow the bands along the highway. When morning comes, I'll be there, point my thumb in one direction or another. Doesn't matter, their way is my way. You can hear the it's coming, winds hissing through the leaves, and the birds announce it softly from their nests beneath the eaves. You can smell the rain, it's coming, smell the pavement growing down. See the grass reach up to drink it, see the flicker of the land. Now the rain will dry the grasses flat and wash away the darkness. The rain will slow the bands along the highway. When morning comes, I'll be there, point my thumb in one direction or another. Doesn't matter, their way's my way. Some songs that I write take forever, it seems. You know, I've run into people who call themselves songwriters. Some of them are very good and say, well, you know, I wrote 3 songs last week. And I think, okay, I don't do that. I get maybe 1 a year if I'm lucky, you know. And you got to have a big wastebasket, I think. This one, however, came in about half an hour. There's a personal story behind it, but it's probably not worth going into at this time. This is a song about some very close folks of mine. Love me now, as long ago, when we were fresh and young, when summer flowers filled the air and hopeful songs were sung. Love me as you did before, and let me give you mine. Carry it gently through the years, still undimmed by time. The song is called Old Love. We lost her 40 years ago. She slipped away one morning. The fire of his early life was gone without a warning. The healing years just dried the tears, but not the ache inside. Locked away until the day he would no longer hide. Love me now as long ago, when we were fresh and young, when the summer flowers filled the air and hopeful songs were sung. Love me as you did before, and let me give you mine. Carried gently through the years, still undimmed by time. He's found her now, not far away, as such things sometimes happen. Not totally by chance, but maybe part of some grand pattern. Unsure at first, he finds a warm and welcoming reply, more precious for the vanished years, a star in winter skies. Love me now as long ago, when we were fresh and young, when summer flowers filled the air, hopeful songs were sung. Love me as you did before, and let me give you mine. Carry it gently through the years, still until by now, carried gently through the years, still until by time. My most recent song was triggered by, well, in part, there's always something that triggers a song. You know. This was, in part, I was cleaning out a house in order to sell it, and realizing how much had been acquired over the years. And finding it difficult to dispose of some things. There is a difference, I'm here to tell you, between a saver and a hoarder. Think about it. So I thought to myself, how would I explain this to a son or daughter who happened to come upon this painful time? It's only stuff I hear you say when walking through the door. You ought to throw away the things you don't need anymore. It's time to fill a dumpster with your antiquated clutter, or soon there won't be any space to navigate around this place. I'll have to end up sitting on your lap or on the floor. Really isn't all that bad, you know as well as I. And you don't see the things I see behind what meets the eye. The tools that built your cradle and that shaky childhood table. The booklet of the silly songs we sang as we would drive along. Remind me of the times in the days and years gone by. The things we had when I was young were made of sturdy stuff, of iron, solid wood, and steel, which made them good enough to last more than a season. So there wasn't any reason to let them go to waste and not reuse the good old things we got. Not like the plastic parts these days that break if you get rough. More than that, these well-worn things bring echoes to my mind of older ways in younger days and people left behind. The records played the dances that began those teen romances. The letters, books, and pictures of times and places that I love. It's stuff that carries comfort after later years unwind. Maybe older, warmer stuff, but all of it is good enough. It's all stuff that's good enough for me. I'm going to give you guys a chance to sing along one more time. This is a song that I don't know when I ran across it. I think it was Sue Buck from Well taught me this song. But it was written by Gene Ritchie. Gene Ritchie from a Southern Appalachian folk singer, but it's not about Appalachia. It's about the migrants coming from the British Isles to Newfoundland. And other places like that. And it's the chorus goes like this. it's a refrain unless you sing along, then it's a chorus. Marty, come fare away, come fare away with me. There's an island of dreams over the rolling sea. Try that, Marty, come fare away. Marty, come fare away, come fare away with me. There's an island of dreams. There's an island of over the rolling sea, over the rolling sea. I won't do that too much. Sailors and ready, we're bound for Newfoundland. Hasten, my darling, and do not delay. Trees tall and green there, and fish by the millions. Come fare away with me. Marty, come fare away, come fare away with me. There's an island of dreams over the rolling sea. Leave your belongings, for things do but bind us. Hemmed in the life here, it won't do for me. Fretting in trouble, we leave them behind us. There is a land that's free. Marty, come fare away, come fare away with me. There's an island of dreams over the rolling sea. Lace on your good shoes of scout hide and leather. Bring a warm shawl and a cup full of tea. There is a new life, we'll build it together. Come fare away with me. Marty, come fare away, come fare away with me. There's an island of dreams over the rolling sea. Marty, come fare away with me. There's an island of dreams over the rolling sea. Oh, let's see. This is another bit of whimsy. Come on, you can do this. Oh, another story. A couple years ago, I was walking around the house mumbling to myself, and my wife said, "You talking to me or you talking to the cat?" And I thought, number one, there's an excuse. And number two, maybe there's a song here. So I was thinking about that. You know, most of the cat songs I know cast the cats in the role of a villain. You know, like the cat came back. This guy trying to get rid of this obstreperous cat, and so on. I thought, what we need is a cat song that's positive for felines. So I entered this into the running for that song. When no one seems to listen, when no one seems to care, find a feline, take it home, put it in your favorite chair. Tell all your woes, wish everything that's going wrong. It will hear in solemn silence, maybe even purr along. Get a cat for friendship, tell it what you're thinking of. Get a kitten just for fun, get a cat for love. It will be a good companion, listening in its own way, maybe even understanding some of what you have to say. Curling up in calm contentment, it will bring you peace of mind. Scratch its chin upon its fur, leave your petty cares behind. Get a cat for friendship, tell it what you're thinking of. Get a kitten just for fun, get a cat for love. If you train a dog to sit or fetch your stuff, it will obey. But a cat may just ignore you, groom its tail and walk away. Don't suppose it doesn't like you just because it won't behave. Give it room and it will find you. It's a buddy and not a slave. Get a cat for friendship, tell it what you're thinking of. Get a kitten just for fun, get a cat for love. Cats were gods in ancient Egypt, running wild along the Nile, guarding grain from roaming rats and munching mice in legal style. Living now with their descendants, it may seem like little care, just allow for independence. When it matters, they'll be there. Get a cat for friendship, tell it what you're thinking of. Get a kitten just for fun, get a cat for love. I'd like to do one more for you, and I don't know if you are tight to time, but if there are people who wanted to ask about things, I'm happy, you know.
All right.
Once I start, I'm hard to turn off. This is a song that I guess if I had to pick my very favorite of the songs, this would be mine. It was written, it started up on the outer cliffs in Acadia National Park as I was looking out over the ocean. It's a song born of desperation because I had agreed in a fit of optimism to play for the christening of the newborn daughter of a friend, and only after I had agreed did I realize I hadn't the slightest idea what a christening song should be. And looked and poked and fussed, and I couldn't find anything I was willing to do. So in desperation, I wrote something which worked, and then the refrain for it, I guess the contemporary word is morphed into a more generic song, which is this. There are some who say we lead a random life. Chance and baby love are all that mark the way. But the stars and seas and spiders say there's order in this world. And the rising sun reminds me every day that the hand of someone wiser guides the path I choose to take. The eyes of someone to see far down the road. The mind of someone either maps the journey of my life. The heart of someone loves me as I go. There are days when living hides the way ahead, when this working world is all I see. I pretend that there's no question, cause the answer isn't clear, and that blindness is the eyes of someone to see far down the road. The mind of someone keener maps the journey of my life. The heart of someone loves me as I go. Is it rhyme or reason makes me what I am? Do I need to know, to love, to live today? Can the puzzle be the answer, and the seeker be the goal? Can I just take little steps along the way? As the hand of someone wiser guides the path I choose to take, the eyes of someone to see far down the road. The mind of someone keener maps the journey of my life. The heart of someone loves me as I go. Or whatever. So I'm taking questions. Anybody have any questions? Comments? Thoughts?
The music is beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lots of diversity.
Yeah, well,
We've liked it for a long time.
yeah, you live this long, you learn a lot. You also forget a lot.
Yeah,
It used to be 50s and 60s, Seeger and the Weavers,
Yeah.
yeah.
but you've expanded
I
through the
have.
years.
Yeah. But I still remember some of the most of. I remember what you asked for all those years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to sing
Can I
along
sneak
to
one
it.
in here?
Of course.
Oh,
When I first came up to this area in Belfast,
sorry.
oh,
Sorry.
Put down, yeah.
she's forgiven, she's my roadie.
Oh, was that you? That's me.
When I first came up here in the late 70s, well, that wasn't when I first came up here. When I was singing in this area in the late 70s, there was a place in Belfast called the Belfast Cafe, which is now a photographer's studio, but it was a lovely cafe restaurant that I played at once or twice. And on the wall, there was the lyrics to this song. You know the song. Some people say this comes from the Midwest, but Mainers take it over sometimes too. You may know this. As I went out one evening, 'twas in a small cafe, a 40-year-old waiter to me these words did say, well, I see that you are a logger, and not just a common bum, 'cause nobody but a logger stirs his coffee with his thumb. My lover was a logger, there's nothing like him today. If you poured whiskey on him, he would eat a bale of hay, and he never shaved his whiskers from off of his horny hide, just hammered them in with a hammer and bit them off inside. My lover came to see me, was on one freezing day. He held me in a fond embrace that broke 3 vertebrae, and he kissed me when we parted, so hard that he broke my jaw, and I could not speak to tell him he forgot is backing on. Well, I saw my lover leaving, sauntering through the snow, going gaily homeward at 48 below. Now the weather, it tried freezing, it tried its level best. At 100 degrees below zero, he buttoned up his vest. Now it froze clear through China, it froze to the stars above. At 1,000 degrees below zero, it froze my lover love. And so I lost my love. And to this cafe I come, and here I wait for someone to stir coffee with his thumb. Any questions?
Well, this just isn't a question and answer sort of thing.
Well, comments, complaints,
No complaints. No complaints. Thank you.
observations?
Fabulous. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you. It's been my pleasure.
I'm going to do a little closure here on the screen. Hi, those of you who've stayed with us, thank you. So that's the conclusion of our presentation, and thank you for coming to our Vose virtual series. And I hope that you'll spread the word for next week. Next week we have Catherine Silva in her book, The Wild Dark, and she is a local. So that, again, is Zoom or maybe in person. We'll get back to you for next week. Thank you for coming.
I want to say, Bill, I remember you from the Camden Harbor Inn back in the 80s.
Yay!
My gosh. I didn't think anybody remembered that.
Oh, absolutely.
That's great.
That's lovely. I don't know who you are out there, but that's great. I remember that place very fondly.
Very fondly.
Was it the Thirsty Whale, was it?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bob Stewart, Gordon Bob, Glenn Shanks.
Yep. Wonderful place at the time, yeah.
Anybody else?
Some of us here remember him from the 50s.
You're not supposed to say that.
Did you say 50?
You have to underline it.
I've been trying to think of the other three that were in your quartet in college.
Oh,
Anton,
Tony Lang,
Tony Lang,
Stan Chernacki,
yeah, and
originally Raoul Orser.
Raoul was there.
But then, fellow from Vermont took over after Raoul.
They entered
On campus
campus talent show.
talent show, one in all 4 years.
One of all 4 years they were there.